This was the start of my trip to Monza. So this is at Edinburgh Airport, just about to board the plane going to Milan Bergamo Airport. I then got a wee shuttle bus, which was about €12.60 I think it was, from Milan Airport to Monza, so it was very handy. I'm travelling to Italy to watch my client Harry racing. He's racing in the McLaren Trophy Europe GT race. This was the first weekend of 5. I had to Google Translate this. It does translate as lube kitchen, and yes, I did check, it is actually a kitchen supply. The town or city, I'm not actually sure if it's a town or city, of Monza is absolutely beautiful. It's a really, really nice place. Looks like there's quite a lot of historic buildings and things there. So I had a little wander about there, and it is absolutely roasting. It was about 34 degrees every day, which was brilliant. So on the Saturday and the Monday I did a run around Monza Park. So Monza Park is absolutely huge. I read somewhere it's about twice the size of Central Park in America. And at the top end of the park is where the racetrack is, so it's a very, very big park. It's also very nice, there's a few cafes and things in there as well, and you can hire like e-scooters and e-bikes and bits and bobs like that. It's really good. This was me just coming into Monza racetrack. There's loads of really nice cars kicking about that you can go and have a look at. One of the highlights of the race weekend was Harry managed to get me a drinks hospitality band. So all my drinks were included, and there was also little nibbles and things on the bar. So there was like little burgers and fruit and cheeses and meats and things like that, which was absolutely great. And of course the building was air conditioned, which was a very, very, very welcome thing. So both days I also managed to get a grid walk band. So before the 2 races I went out onto the track and walking about, mingling about the cars, and the racing drivers and stuff were walking about as well. It was absolutely great, really good experience. I'm also sponsoring Harry's race suit, so you'll see my logo across the front of his suit, which is pretty cool. Former Superbike rider Valentino Rossi has made the switch over to GT racing. So he was racing in the GT World Series this weekend, and there were a lot of people out to support him. There was just a sea of like bright yellow and number 46 t-shirts and hats and stuff. This was inside the McLaren Hospitality Centre, so this is where I was getting my free drinks. This was another queue of people waiting to see Valentino Rossi again. And then, believe it or not, this is not Valentino Rossi, this is actually me on an e-scooter. This is where I think I get one up on Valentino Rossi actually. Raced a Maserati on an e-scooter, and I'm definitely taking this as a victory, even though he was stuck in traffic, but don't tell anybody that. This was the Sunday, so day 2. Had a little wander about the racetrack a little bit more, so I had a look at the shops. There was one selling all sorts of things from helmets to gloves to race suits. And there was a little model shop there, so you could buy little model cars and things like that. It was quite cool. In here there was loads of food vans and little bars, plenty of water to get. There's a little water station there. There's also, in the distance, you'll see the Valentino Rossi shop. There was also loads of stuff to do, so there was a volleyball net there, and there's also a table football table in the undercover bit as well, which was cool. And this is me going back out to the grid walk for the second race. So this is a Sunday morning for the grid walk. In the number 68 car again, Harry will be starting the race and his teammate will swap over part way through and finish the race. And probably the best thing of the weekend was he managed to get third place on this race. So I got to go and watch the podium ceremony from on the actual pit lane of Monza, which was really cool. Honestly, it was so hot. The air conditioning here was absolutely great. This was some of the nibbles on the bar, so we got little burgers and meats and cheeses and olives and fruit and stuff, so it was delicious. This was later on the Sunday, got a couple of beers from the hospitality and went and sat next to the racetrack to watch the GT World. This is just me on my way back to the apartment, just leaving the racetrack. What a good weekend that was, so good. Getting the hospitality, seeing McLaren racing and getting on the podium. The weather, just everything about it was absolutely fantastic and just surreal. This is the best pizza I have ever had in my life. It was so good, I went Friday night, Saturday night and Sunday night. This was the Monday morning, so my flight wasn't until back in 9 at night, I think it was. So I had another little run around Monza Park, soak in the weather before heading back to Scotland. If you want to see the running videos in full, I'm going to be making up them as well, so just check out the separate videos for the runs around Monza Park. Still had a few hours to kill, so just had a little wander about Monza again, got some gelato and a couple of beers, and then made my way back to the airport and came back to rainy Scotland.